What a screenplay. Definitely one of the best Tamil film of the year, unless I'm forgetting or I've not seen any. But yeah, screenplay is amazing. Like it's genius. It's like Nolan kind of stuff where you just, and it's very simple. The idea is that it's so basic thing. You
Hmm.
just, there are two narratives and you are intercutting them and rearranging them in an order which makes it so fascinating. And every time we, shift timelines, it's a big
Yeah.
reveal. And the way it's done, it's very basic but so geniusly done. And yeah, it was really like something. Like I recorded a reaction
Yeah.
live watch along, and I was every 15 minutes. Oh my god! Oh no! Oh, oh shit! Oh, maybe no. I was just like this throughout.
Right.
I was like this. Oh no, it's not the case. So
Correct.
yeah, it was a roller coaster ride in its literal sense.
What about you, Keshav?
Yeah, I hadn't seen a Tamil film in a long time because, of course, they don't come as many as Malayalam films these days. Like, there's almost a new Malayalam film almost every Friday on OTT or something. So the frequency is also less, but then also because of the audience base on our channels, it's more Malayalams, right? So it had been some time since I watched a Tamil film, and
Yeah.
when I watched it, I mean, it was worth it. Like, I just wish that I had seen it in a Chennai single screen theater. That would have been some sort of experience, because uh, first of all, people get so mad about their superstars there, and the way they react to these twists and turns when the
Yeah.
protagonist is winning, especially. So that would have been some sight. Like, after watching the film, I kept searching on YouTube, Maharaja theater reaction, Maharaja climax audience reaction. So I mean, I think it's a very slow simmer kind of a thing where like slowly you boil the milk and finally it comes to the boiling point at the end. So it was that kind of a slow burner kind of a experience, and absolutely loved it. And one of my, yeah, it's gonna end up in probably in somewhere in top 5 at the end of the year when we do the discussion.
Yeah. Same. I don't know about top 5, but top 10
Same.
for sure. For sure. It will be in the list for sure. And I absolutely loved how, like Nona, you said, a very simple narrative which was broken down and rearranged in a way which made us feel, we made us gasp, made us be in the edge of our seats. Like till the very end, I was completely like in shock. I was completely hooked. So because I went in with the film when the movie released, I did the trailer reaction, and a lot of people told me that please go in without any, like, with a blank slate. We are not going to give you any spoilers. Don't think about anything. Just go and watch the film. But I was not able to catch it in the theater. Then I was waiting for the OTT release, and that time also I did not sit with too many expectations. I was like, okay, let me just watch it. Let's see what happens. And then I was completely like, I was telling this to Keshav. I messaged him, like, I was like, my jaw was on the floor till the end of the film. By the end, it was completely like that. So I loved it.
Yeah,
Uh,
even the moment I finished watching the film, I texted her, what the
yeah,
F, like, what was that climax, it's and I woke up to her reply in the morning. I'd watched it late night, and you know and it's like, if you look at just the core idea of the film, it's not a very unique or fresh idea, right? It's the
yeah,
screenplay which really turns sort of a normal idea into such an engaging thriller. So I
right.
think screenplay and editing are the real winners. Of course, direction, you
For
can't.
for me, definitely direction and editing, because I think the way they have actually thought out to put like the sequence of events, it's definitely non-linear, but the way they show it, it feels linear as well.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
Usually,
illusion.
yeah, that's like the illusion that they create, that it's probably a linear storyline, but it's also a non-linear
yeah, yeah,
storyline, and you have to figure it out. Like, okay, which timeline is it? Because they don't spoon feed you anything in this
Yeah.
film. So I
yeah.
love that. But any negatives for you guys in the film?
Oh, where to start from?
Really?
uh, okay, I'll not go to the big talking point about the film. Maybe we can deal with it later. But one thing which the whole the way the police station scene was treated, like when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is so fascinating. Lakshmi, what is Lakshmi? It
Yeah.
gives you such a sense of, oh, what is happening. This is such a weird, situation. And he's just there for what is Lakshmi? It
Mm.
makes no sense. And the trailer is cut really well. And I got spoiled about what is Lakshmi. So in the comments, someone said Lakshmi is dustbin. I'm like, oh my god, is that
Okay.
like the big twist at the end of the film? Because that's how the trailer portrays it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's just not think about it much, let's not get more into it. And I just kept away. And when the film came out, I didn't read up anything, what's happening, nothing. I just went
Yeah.
in blind. And I love the fact that within 5-10 minutes, we know what Lakshmi is. So I was like, thank God. But also the thing that if Lakshmi was a big reveal, if it's a great movie, it will not matter. If knowing the twist, it will not matter. The film
Yeah.
will be strong enough without even in knowing the twist, you will enjoy the film.
Yeah.
So, but it was just totally something else. So, but I didn't like the police station scene.
Hmm.
It had a problematic point of showing police brutality and making a comedy out of it. Also, not comedy just in the sense that it feels looks hilarious, but in the music that's playing, the whole moment where Vijay
Okay.
Sethupathi is telling his story, and the way the actors are playing it, like the police guy, and there's a close up of the actor who was beaten up, making faces, and it's like
Okay.
the music, the BGM is very comedic, and like you don't need it. It's such a peculiar situation which is
Okay.
hilarious in itself. You don't need to add this extra music, this extra overacting, to show faces. Oh, what is he saying? Dustbin. He's here about dustbin, fire. Oh my god, he's making face.
Hmm.
Like, you don't need any of this. It's just it's a Anurag Kashyap moment. If you have seen Ugly, if you have seen Gangs of Wasseypur, it's a hilarious situation where you just let the actors do, let them cook,
Hmm.
let them take the scene wherever they take, which is hilarious. They know what to do, let them do it. Just keep the camera there, let us be looking at it and just amazed and laughing of what is going on.
Okay.
Remember, have you seen Ugly, any of you?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a scene where they go to a police station to file a report that their daughter is missing,
Hmm.
and you find that that's a serious moment, right? It is serious moment.
It is.
But the fact that they have to go and the police is asking, "Are pen hai kya? Are pen lana?" And they just random shit, and you're like, "What? Oh, actor हो क्या? किसमें acting की है? अच्छा वो देखा है? अरे इधर आ, वो देखे तूने?" So it's like, what the hell is going on? It's like so, such a situation which makes it so hilarious without adding
Okay.
anything. And I felt
I think
they already had a great moment,
yeah,
but
I
they
think
just
it's
made it too much.
see the comedy element is there in the police station scene is comparing. So the difference is in Ugly, the police station scene had dark comedy, but here it's more
It's not
slapstick.
intended like that.
No, here it's more slapstick comedy, which you see in
Yeah.
Tamil cinema.
Yeah.
My problems with this film, first of all, was uh, the grip he has. I mean, that's just illogical. That's straight up
In the school.
everywhere in the school,
Yeah.
in the police station. That's first of all humanly not possible. It's like Vijay Sethupathi gets a superpower. Like if you remember in Master, his fist was something which was like a superpower, that he has such a strong fist and punch. And
Yeah.
here you have the grip. So that didn't really sit well with me. That how can 10, 15, 20 people not just get it away? And the other thing was I didn't really like the lip sync with Anurag Kashyap, because obviously he was not really speaking Tamil when he was acting, or he was just some words were there, like you could feel that, but overall, like, even the dubbing was okayish. But then I switched to Hindi just to see if at least in Hindi, Anurag Kashyap has said his own dialogues, but he hadn't dubbed his Hindi dialogues as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would have wanted either for him to, at least act out those Tamil dialogues, so that even if somebody else dubs, a better vocal actor dubs, so that the lip sync is much, much better and clearer. But here, of course, they also took some liberty of, having set such angles where, most of the times it's not directly focused on his mouth, but then overall, like, that kind of put a
Work.
little bit of a blemish on my filmmaking experience, because he was the main villain, right? So
Yeah.
of course he had the impact where it comes down to just acting and expressions and everything, but as a demonic character, when he was speaking, especially in the beginning scene, his introduction scene, when he's talking to that woman and her daughter,
Hmm.
it just sort of takes away that shine from the performance if the lip sync is not as good.
Okay. I also switched between Hindi and Tamil uh, because I was also thinking that, okay, let me just see how the Hindi dub also is. For me, I feel like you are right about the lip sync thing, but I felt that it did not really diminish my viewing experience because I think his acting was so good that it felt very real. Like I could resonate with the emotions because in the film both the protagonist and the antagonist, they got like equal weightage. We spend a lot of time with the antagonist as well, so I think that way it kind of subdued. I feel that this movie's positives for me really outweighed the negatives somehow, because sometimes what happens is if I have a gripe with the film, I kind of remember it, that, oh, this was a problem, and I did not like this thing, and this really diminished my viewing experience. For this film, surprisingly, none of that happened. Like for me, I'm thinking to myself right now, okay, was it that bad? Was I feeling that like this did really hamper my experience? It did not. Like this is one of those movies where that none of that happened for
I
me.
mean, just imagine that you loved his acting performance. So on top of that, if the lip sync was also perfectly
I'm
done,
sure. Yeah.
it takes it to yet another level.
I
Hmm.
didn't notice. I was reading the subtitles, so I didn't even notice.
No, I noticed it in few places, but like I said, it did not really hamper the experience because again, yes, your lot of attention goes into reading the subtitles also.
I mean,
Did the Hindi version is Anurag Kashyap voice?
no,
No.
Because I know it's not Vijay Sethupathe's voice.
no, that's the thing. So I
That's
was,
the worst part. Then
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
better to watch in Tamil only.
I was expecting that. See, now Vijay Sethupathi has also done Merry Christmas and Farzi and all that stuff, so he can speak Hindi, right? So
Yeah.
I was expecting when I turned to Hindi dub that maybe at least these two have dubbed their own voices, then I can watch it in Hindi as well.
No,
But they
because dub
didn't.
is except Telugu. I think all of the dubs is done by Netflix. So
And the Hindi dub was even worse. At least Tamil dub I was okay with, because I understand a little bit of Tamil, having spent 6 years in Chennai. So my attention was not completely on the subtitles. So
Okay.
I could bounce off, here or there. So
Okay.
that's why my experience was not as good, because whenever the actor was speaking something and Anurag Kashyap was not really going ahead with it.
Okay. But did you feel that performance wise anybody was lacking?
the leads, no, not at all. I was more surprised by Anurag Kashyap though. I was really surprised because
I was
it's a
pleasantly surprised.
very like especially the last scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, just bad guy. I'll just be devilish, and then he's like shows his tender side with his daughter, and then
Right.
at the end that like how do you perform that scene? It's like biggest of the actors would like to try out. Like it's
Try
very
out.
hard how to take
But
forward. So him delivering in that moment is wow. It's
I
really
didn't understand the significance of that sports teacher that they had,
yeah.
because in the beginning
Yeah.
they were setting it up like she's gonna be some important character later on. I mean, it was just more of a guardian or a supervisor where she gets her everywhere. More than that, like,
I so someone was talking about how this film kind of uses violence, like the woman has to go through violence and that's the
Hmm.
only part of her in the story. So I was like, okay, then the PD teacher makes sense. That she's not just there to. But one
Suffer.
thing to note, she's a PT teacher who doesn't give away her lectures because a science and math teacher wants it to complete syllabus. We
I
want more such PT teachers.
Yes. Of course. Why not? I would love to
but
have more PT.
I'm sure she, maybe they cut it out in the edit because they just can't have that character
Yeah.
just for the sake of it, right?
And that too, it's Mamta Mohandas. Like it's
Yeah,
like they've casted a prominent actor for that role.
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, when the movie started and she was introduced, the first thought at the end came to my mind, oh, she's getting killed at the end.
No, even I thought that maybe in the end, second half, there would be some significant role of hers. Maybe she'll play into the story somehow, but nothing happened. So
I
it was,
like the scene of Vijay Sethupathi when he sees Anurag Kashyap and he just hits him and he's unable to even process it.
yeah.
That's a good moment.
Yeah, I think the last, I think the movie ends in such a high when Anurag Kashyap realizes the way they have kept it for that very last shot, and then he realizes, and then he repents, and he can't do anything about it. Like you said, the way he acted out that scene, very difficult to do, to get that emotion out. That okay, I have effed up. Now what? And then there's no other way out
You
than
have
to
effed
just
up. You have done something
ah,
you can't live with.
you
That's
can't
why
live with.
he
You have
unlived
to
himself.
he unalived himself, and that is the only way out, basically.